K4PW. We've already done the intro. Saved the YouTube some time there on their memory and mine. Anyway, the purpose of that is to have fun and to see how I screw up on the net every time. It's kind of funny, really. And to see how we can hear other stations and try to figure out why their signal is so much better than yours. But it also gives you an idea to figure out how you fit into the terrain and how your antenna system could be higher. It also figure out that the conditions change and it affects everybody. Anyway, as far as announcements tonight, we've already done 3 nets tonight, kind of 3.5 because we're also on 223.415. But tonight it is 2 meters here on 146.415, and then 2 meter upper sideband on 144.240, and then we're going to move on to 6 meters on 50.135, and then we're going to move over to, or up to, I should say, 223.415 for our 220 net. I got into a break for a second. I got into a thought process today. I was listening earlier today to some of the people on here on Simplex. I wasn't on the radio. I was just listening. Yeah, as a lurker. And I was reminded again of why Simplex is so great, because I haven't seen it here, but in Florida I saw there were repeater owners who didn't like certain activities on the air. It was political, or somebody was speaking in ways they didn't like about opinions. And so they would tell them to get off the repeater or kick them off the repeater. One guy filed a formal complaint, with the FCC against a user of his repeater. And there's none of that on Simplex. No one can stop. I mean, you don't have to be on 146.415, and I have no means or capability to tell you not be on any frequency on Simplex. I mean, since I don't have a repeater, I can't tell you can't be anywhere. And that's really one of the beauties of Simplex is that no one, as long as you're complying with the rules of the FCC, there's no subject matter that's out of bounds. You'll often hear that religion and politics doesn't belong on the air. Well, you're going to have to tell me why. I don't understand. If you have an opinion about something, big deal. It's just an opinion. As long as you're not being abusive, or not being, I'll say gentlemanly, might be the right word. There's no reason you can't have any subject on the air. Within bounds, remembering that children are listening to. That's one of the things you got to remember is there's children and sensitive ears out there, young women, young boys. Anyway, wherever I was, just as far as we're doing on the net. By the way, we're starting out on from the south, and we're at net number 875. And but first, we're going to be taking check-ins. Does anybody else have any announcements other than the 10 meter net tomorrow night? 10 meter net, 7:30 p.m. 28.415. That's 28.415. You can call it a decimal if you want to. And that's Michael does that, KM4YRF. And it's at 7:30 p.m. So be there. Or there's going to be a severe penalty of which no one has the right to do that to you. Is there any other announcements? Well, I gave my editorial. Kicked myself off the air for expressing an opinion. The repeater owners of America. That's who's going to come out and I'm going to pull out my shrubs and feed my dog diuretics. Anybody else with no announcements? And we're going to start right in with mobile and people short on time.
Kilo 4, W04 Dave, Ken, Smyrna, short on time.
All right, hold on one second, Ken. I think I heard Kilo 4. Was it Kilo 4 Victor Alpha? Is that who I had? Well, you got a lot of static on your signal tonight. Are you hearing it as well?
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You would think, Mike, that would be better than that tonight from where you are in Hendersonville. But anyway, you doing all right?
Doing pretty good. Celebrating birthday today, turned 60.
Who's turned 60? You did?
Yep. Turned 60. Might not act like it, but I sure feel like it.
Oh, yeah. Well, 60 is just a number. As long as you doing the things you want to do, just got to be more careful as you get older. That's what I figured out. 60 wasn't bad, though. It was 70 that hurt me the most. But anyway, but you're way behind me, so stay there for a while. Anything else for the net, Ken? I mean, Michael?
No, sir. Really good evening to you and Everybody have a good week. And we'll say 7 for Eastern.
Very good. That's Kilo 4 Victor Victor Alpha, and that's Michael. He's in Hendersonville. Ken, I heard you in there.
Yes, sir. And been listening him talking. I wouldn't mind being 60 again. How about you?
Oh yeah, 60 was good. Like I said, 60 was a good number for me. Well, as you know, as you get old, it wasn't until I rolled up into the 70s that I started feeling worse. I say worse. The effects of my age began to show.
Yes, sir. And less than a month away. Next month in March, I'll hit the 75, so I guess I can drive a little faster. Anyway, I won't keep it. You do a good job with the net, and I appreciate it very much. So I'll turn it back to you and say 73 to the net and to you and to everybody maybe just listening.
Yeah, very good. I just lost my brain there. Give everybody your call again, please.
Whiskey Victor 4 Delta WV4D.
It's funny, it escaped me for the moment there. I heard you check in and my brain got involved in something it wasn't supposed to. Anyway, that's Ken. He's in Smyrna. Whiskey Victor 4 Delta, and a great signal, of course. In fact, your mic was just a little bit hot there, Ken. Maybe you're too close, or maybe the gain's too high. But great signal, great audio. Other than my ears hurt a little bit. Who else is short on time or mobile?
Forrest here, KQ480.
I heard two in there that I know of. I think I heard KG4 SFF. Was that you there, Charles?
Yes, can you hear me okay tonight?
Well, I can hear you, and I can copy you. It's a little bit noisy, but I hear other noise on the air on other stations too.
Yes, I got a fan going too. Get ready.
Yeah, very good. Anything good for the net?
Negative. The get together next weekend.
The next one is be the 25th. That's correct.
Okay, I got my brakes fixed. Actually, I think that's about the got to get a tail light. I got to go over that.
Very good. That was Charles. He's over in the what do you call it? In the Ashland City area, Ashland City, Jolton. That's Kilo Golf 4 Alpha. I'm sorry, Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot. Charles. John, I heard you in there.
Yeah, Roger. No real news for the net. KQ480. I hope everybody's having a good night though, and enjoy the rest of the weekend. We'll see you.
Yeah, we don't need any. Well, we like news. We just don't like bad news. But everything else going okay?
Oh yeah, man. I just poured concrete a couple of days ago for my little road tower that I got, so I'm excited to put that guy up next week.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's good. That's better than going to a kid's birthday party, wasn't it?
Yeah, not as bad as earlier today. So absolutely, KQ480.
Very good. That's John. Kilo Quebec 4 Alpha Delta Oscar, and he is in what do you call it there? Brentwood. That's where he is. I remember. John in Brentwood. Who else is short on time or mobile? What was that again? Yeah, go ahead, Charles. I'm hearing a lot of noise still, though. Yeah. There's quite a bit of noise out there tonight, but we'll find out as time goes on how bad that is. Who else is short on time or mobile? I'm hearing really scratchy something, but I don't hear any audio.
N5TAW mobile.
Say that one more time.
N5TAW, David.
Oh, and Mo, I haven't heard from David. I forgot his call and his name. David's mobile. I hope you can hear me, David. It was November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey Mobile. When you're getting closer or whatever, let me know. You know what he said there, Michael?
Yeah, he's inbound into town. He just wondered if you could hear him.
I heard his voice a little bit that time, but I couldn't make out everything he was saying. Yeah, very good. I'm copying it a little bit there, David. That was November 5 Tango Alpha Whiskey mobiling into a town. So he's getting a little closer so I can hear him. Anyway, who else is short on time or mobile? All right, then we'll start from the south. Please come now.
KF450.
There you go, Tony, holding down the fort in the world of DMR out of Smyrna.
Yeah, I'm the lone outpost.
You're the last line of defense.
Or the early warning system.
You're the first one to hear if there's any signals coming in from behind you.
Yeah, if the Cubans head this way, they'll hit me first.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you're doing otherwise. Otherwise, are you doing okay?
Yeah. Working on, I put a new dryer vent in today. Started out just cleaning it, and then I decided, no, this just needs to be replaced. And so I've been puttering around with that. And of course, I'll need to go to Lowe's or Home Depot because I don't have the right piece that I need. So it's a typical project.
We're using flexible stuff. That's why you wanted to replace it.
Well, I took out, I had this little louvered thing that most people, that little flat-looking thing, and around the neighborhood, birds have discovered they could build a nest in there. So I circumvented that by putting a piece of chicken wire inside of it so they couldn't get it inside the thing. But the problem is any kind of little lint or anything that gets in, it collects on that chicken wire. So I found a different kind of vent, looks kind of like a snorkel. And when the dryer comes on, it pops open and lets the air out, and then it closes back down. And let's just say it doesn't go in exactly the same way as the little flat one. So I've got a jury rig something.
I guess. Yeah, I always found that the flexible ones, they're nice, they're convenient, but the best way is to put the regular old tin stovepipe stuff in there, straight shot out of the dryer.
Yeah, I would really like to put PVC in there, but yeah, I don't want to burn my house down.
Well, PVC, yeah, if it was right connected right at the dryer, I think you have some melting problems.
Yeah, anyway. And hope you enjoyed my little write-up that I do, of course. And other than that, that's all I got. KF4 KFQ.
All right, we'll see you on Wordle, man. K4PEW, that was KF4 KFQ, Tony, and he's in Smyrna. Who else is South?
K3 NPR South.
You are south of something, that's for sure. How you doing, Michael?
Doing good. Playing around with the radio for the past 2 days. So, as I said before, 10 meters has been unbelievable again. So, let's see what the next solar cycle does.
Oh yeah, I was messing with that earlier this afternoon. I was only listening though on 10 meters, and it was good. Even what do you call it? I can't get my name straight here. Dang, several of the other bands were open too.
Yeah, I mean, thinking out, well, Europe's coming in. I mean, they Spain, Ireland, Netherlands, Czech Republic, France, and in the evenings, I've been occasionally able to pick up New Zealand and Australia. Of course, can't talk to them because they get such a pile of, but not much on there tonight.
I have yet to meet. No, that's not true. I can't remember the last time I talked to a ham that talked to Indy.
But yeah, I mean, not much for the net. So just keep on trucking there, Paul. K3 NPR.
All right, very good. That was Michael, Hilo 3, Mike Papa Romeo. He's here just east of Providence Marketplace here in Mount Juliet, south of Florida. Who else is south?
Kilo Echo 4, Sierra Yankee Victor.
Hello, appreciate you doing the net there at 7:15 there, Larry.
No problem, man. We'll let you get on with it. KE4 SYB.
Very good. That's Larry. He does the D-Star net at 7:15 on Saturday nights. So if you got D-Star, jump in there. Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor, and that's of course the same frequency as we do on the DMR and the I'll think in a minute C4 FM, and that's 146 460. 7 a.m. 7 p.m. for the DMR, 7:15 for the D-Star, 7:30 for the C4 FM. Who else is? And by the way, Larry's in Rockfield. Who else is south? To the east. What are you on your handheld there, Chris?
You nailed it.
Wow, very good. When you're normally, that's either you're on handheld or your antenna's laying on the ground.
How small is the signal?
Say again. You actually have like it looks like about a 4 S4 here on the radio.
I believe it, man.
Yeah, you're bouncing between S4 and S5 on the radio.
Well, it's doing something.
Yeah, a lot of static in there tonight, though. Anyway, that was Chris in Rural Hill. I had to change that name to Royal Hill. That would sound so much better than rural. You know, when people get on the radio, it's rural Alabama, rural Tennessee. Sounds like it's out in the sticks, and it's not. Anyway, it's Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Who else is east?
W4 EBX.
You just get your choice on east or south. Do you there, Eddie?
Well, I think I'm south tonight, or maybe east.
Anyway, how goes it on your end of the sector here?
Everything's okay. Hope everybody else is looking forward to getting this warm weather here this coming week. Maybe I can get a few things done.
I'll tell you what, this afternoon was pretty nice.
I got out one. It's still a little nippy for me.
Man, you Southerners are so bad. I'm sure I told you guys that story when I first went down to Florida. I'd been working in Rhode Island in the winter, and then I moved to Florida in the spring. And then the following winter in Florida, the temperature got down into the first time it got into around 40, which it happens in Tampa. And I come into work and I was supervising a crew. And the whole crew's already got a fire going in a 55-gallon drum. I go, man, we need to get to work. Just standing around the fire is not working for us.
Yeah, I remember doing that at the R&R.
Oh, did you guys do that out in the yard, or were you able to do it in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, well, we did it outside some, and we had some of those bullet heaters every once in a while if you was close to one.
Oh yeah, those are the propane fired ones.
Yeah, they kind of give you a headache after a while, though.
Oh man, I'm not sure whether it's the heat or the fumes.
I think it's the fumes.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, they what they use those propane, and they might use them here for that too. When they put in new drywall and they just put in the sheetrock mud, first time when they put all the mud in, they'd have one of those propane heaters running in new construction. They'd stick one of those heaters in there just to heat up the whole whatever area they were serving.
Wow. I've never seen them used for that, but I'm sure they do. But I know they sure throw out a lot of heat, especially the bigger ones.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. Anyway, anything else for the net, Eddie?
That'd be it. Thanks for what you do. Before we at.
Very good. That's Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray in Gladeville. And everybody knows where Gladeville is. It's the center of the Cultural Universe here in Wilson County, just east of Mount Juliet. Who else is south or east?
Okay, I'm part QE.
Hello, Stan. You doing well?
Doing pretty well, Paul. How about you?
I was telling him earlier, I'm tired, man. I actually did work today.
What sort of work did you do?
Did you ask me what I did?
Yourself.
Oh, I had to gather up about 3 bags of old leaves and get them clear to take them to the dump, and I had to clean up the driveway and clean up the cars, and I just made a mess of myself. I'm still pooped.
Well, that's not good.
No, it wasn't that bad. Actually, it was kind of good to have all this stuff done that I wanted to get done. I still got more to do, though. Anything else for the net, Stan?
No, that's all, Paul. Back tonight. Okay, I'm for HQE.
Very good. Stan's got a good signal. Pretty quiet, too. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is south or east?
Papa Lima Alpha.
Mr. Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha. How you doing, Philip?
Oh, doing pretty good, Paul. Haven't done a whole lot today. Played around a little bit on 40 meters, made a few contacts, but other than that, not a whole lot.
Yeah, well, it's a Saturday. You're not supposed to be doing a whole lot.
Oh, yeah, copy that. Well, I did get up early this morning and went to Hartsville and had breakfast with some of the short mountain guys and some of the guys out of Macon County. I came back home and took a nap.
Oh, wow, very good. How many people were there?
I think there was about 8 of us altogether.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Well, hope everybody out there is having a great weekend and continues to do so. You're doing a good job on the net. WAPLA, back to net control.
I don't know. You probably heard that statistic I looked up, didn't I, about the counties that aren't Davidson and the number of hams?
I've not heard that statistic.
Well, I can do it again, and I don't think I kept the numbers. Well, all you have to do is go to QRZ, and you can look up all the hams in Davidson County. And I looked up, I said, with all the hams in Wilson County, write the number down. Write down all of the surrounding 14 counties. The less people there are in a county, the more hams there are per capita. And Davidson per capita has the lowest number of hams.
Well, how about that? Well, as you know, I'm the VE liaison for Wilson County, and I don't know, the last couple months, I mean, we've had a steady group of people coming in and testing in Wilson County, so if that's any consolation to those statistics, and there you go.
I think it is. But I saw a statistic yesterday that blew me away. Do you know the number of people living in Davidson County, Nashville, Davidson, are living below the poverty line is like 30.1%, I think. 30.1% are living below the poverty line, the federal poverty line. And so I said, wonder what Mount Juliet is. It's like 1.1%. No, 1.7%, I think it was.
How about that? That's above my head. I'll let you handle that statistic and all that jazz. But anyway, WAPLA.
I got a kick out of it because nobody can afford to live in Mount Juliet at my house price. I can't even afford my own house.
That's terrible.
All right, very good. That was Philip. He is in Tucker's Crossroads, Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha. Great signal, of course. Who else is south or east? How about east or south? I think I heard. Did I hear Michael in Lebanon? Is that who I heard in Lebanon? Anybody copying that station? Because I'm not positive who that is.
That was Michael.
Michael, try it again. Are you on low power or something? You normally have a great signal. I'm going to need a relay on that. Give me his call again, please.
Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. There, Paul.
Yeah, very good. What did he have to say there? Because I heard him talking, but I couldn't make out what he was saying.
He thinks he's on high power. He's S7 to me here in Wilson County, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, there's some serious interference because I'm hearing it from some stations and not from others. It's kind of interesting. And I didn't hear it from Stan in Lebanon, so I don't know why it would be so selective. You know?
I'd say probably Richard over there's probably got something to do with it.
He's sucking up all the RF with that big tall antenna he put.
That's it.
Very good. That was Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. That is the call, right? Romeo India Papa. Yes. Very good. Who else is east? And oh, by the way, that's Michael in Lebanon. Romeo Whiskey Alpha 5 Romeo India Papa. Who else is east or south or north?
November 8, November Hotel Tango.
Hello, Hayes. You doing any good up there?
Oh, yeah, that's nice to hear you. Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm just working on some music stuff. Playing all around, just doing the kid thing, you know. And I've been messing around 8 camps and maybe 2 as well.
Are you doing anything different? Because you also are very noisy tonight, even though I can hear you.
Not really. No, it's pretty much the same thing. Just about a 3 or 6 at night. I used to have my truck, but the signal wasn't much on. It's a Magna Man inside on the upper floor.
Yeah, it might be just the if you're looking, anybody's looking at my screen there, you can see a lot of uh, crap at the screen. A lot of noise in there. It's pretty loud. It's pretty annoying. And the big signals overcome it, and the weaker signals, I guess, do not. Hayes, anyway, appreciate you being there. It's Hayes. He's in Hendersonville, November 8th, November Hotel Tango. Who else is east or north? Or west?
KM4YRF.
Hey, Michael. You doing okay? I mean, are you hearing any noises on your end?
A little bit. Some stations are there's no noise at all, and then some are a little scratchy, like Philip. His signal was really low to me, but he was booming on C4FM.
Yeah, no, he's big signal to me as well here. Yeah, it is odd conditions. I don't know, it seems so wacky that some are great and some aren't.
I know it. It just never ceases to amaze me.
I think it's going to be a new condition. We're going to call it balloon interference.
That's a great thought.
Yeah, those people are just coming over here to jam our signals.
Well, they're going to find out that they're up against a very, very strong adversary.
That's right. We've got 50 watts and we're not afraid to use it.
Absolutely.
I told you jamming. Every time I think of jamming, when we were in operations in Vietnam, I presumed it was the Russians jamming us, but I don't know for certain whether there was Russian trawlers hanging around a little farther out from us, but we could see them. I say a couple of miles from us. That's all. And I don't know whether it was the North Vietnamese were doing it or the Russians were doing it, but they were jamming our signals. But we could still communicate just fine. I thought, and they need some better equipment.
Yeah, they need some better stuff against Ukraine as well.
No, really, I'm serious. It was. We used to laugh about it. It was just this, you could hear the jamming, but it was like in the background. Anyway, we weren't saying anything important anyway, so I'm not sure why they cared. Anyway, anything else from that, Michael?
I've always been careful. Been thinking about what do they use to jam the signal with?
I don't really know. You've seen that video on YouTube about the Russians jamming signals for the longest time, didn't you? The Russians and the East Germans.
No, but I'll have to look that up, and I don't need to keep you talking about that. So back to net control, and thank you for what you do, Paul.
Yeah, if somebody has the link, post that to the YouTube, because it's a kind of a long video. It's probably 30 minutes, maybe. It's more than a few minutes, but it's all about the Russian jamming and how they tried, because they didn't want people from Western Europe and Radio Free America, that kind of stuff, to be going through, and they're really obnoxious jamming. Who else is north, east, or north?
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
Hey, this is Harry again. I wanted to say, if anyone tuned up to the repeater frequency 146880, that seems to be, that seems to have been key for like a long time. I don't know if it's the repeater itself transmitting or somebody jamming it, but that frequency has been jammed for like an hour. Just like, I guess what's called a key the whole dang time. If anybody knows anything about that, I think it'd be worth passing on to the back here.
Which repeater frequency was that?
That's the 146880. I think the repeater's in Dallas.
The repeater is where?
I think in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, Hayes, if anybody can hear, or if they can't hear Hayes, he's saying that the repeater seems like it's being keyed up, like a dead key on the repeater, or somebody's jamming it, or something's wrong. In other words, 146880. In fact, if you go look, I'm not going to go look now because then screw up the net. Hold on one second. Okay. Very good. That was Hayes. Who else is north or west?
W14G.
Well, there's a nice, solid, great signal you got there, Jeff.
Oh, good. I'm glad somebody sounds good.
Wait a minute. I hear Joel or Jeff? Who did I hear?
You heard Jeff.
Okay, great. I thought I heard Joel too. Joel, are you out there also?
Yeah, man, that was me. My bad.
Oh no, that's okay. I got you in there, but I'll be right back. Jeff, what's up with you, man? You sound great.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Just not a whole lot up. I'm gonna try it 1 1/4 meter again tonight. I've been in contact with the people I got it from, and they said you reset everything. So I did that. So I'm gonna try it again, see if that works. So we'll find out.
All right, very good. Look forward to it. Anything else for the net? Really, your signals are awesome tonight. It really is good.
Yeah, well, it usually is. I mean, it's what you tell me. We'll find out about that. But other than that, just nothing much else is going on here.
Yeah, very good. Well, there's other people, like when that other fellow that's in Madison, can't think of his name right now. His signal is often not half as good as yours. So I don't know whether, and I think he has a decent antenna, but maybe he's just in a lower spot than you are.
Oh, I'm kind of down the hole myself in a way. I guess probably just just the path, the signal path, and that's probably what makes it so good.
Yeah, I think you're probably right too. Anyway, you're good enough. That was Jeff, Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf. He's in Madison. I heard you in there, Joel. Everything all right?
Oh yeah, everything is good. Just out here doing an oil change and rotating some tires.
I hope that's on your car.
Yeah, my truck. I had to work today, and I meant to do it. I was going to do it today, this morning, but I wasn't going to do it before work. So I figured I'd get around to it.
Yeah, I'm religious about doing those oil changes every 50,000 miles, whether it needs it or not.
Woo, that's that lifetime oil there.
Oh yeah, see, you just keep changing the oil filter.
That's actually the case on a vehicle that uses it a lot.
Yeah, so I'm told. I remember hearing those stories years ago about, oh, you don't need to change your oil. You just keep changing the oil filter. You'll be fine.
Well, if it's a vehicle that burns it, I know a guy that did it for a long time. I don't know what the outcome was over some time, but he did that for many years. But I'm going to say that's probably not good.
No, and I don't really know. That was back in the old leaded fuel days. I mean, we're going to get old enough that nobody will know what we're talking about.
And I saw a sign the other day on one of these RVs I was working on. It says unleaded fuel only. I'm going to say it's like I don't know, it wasn't that old a vehicle, like a 2012 model. And I'm like, they didn't even use it then.
Huh, that's funny. Well, it was funny because, just as it's a little bit of trivia there. The only company that I knew of as a kid, not that I knew very much when I was a kid, but I knew that when my dad needed fuel for the Coleman equipment we had, it's unleaded gasoline. It can't have lead in it. It's regular unleaded gasoline. There's only one place you could buy it, and that was at an Amoco. It's the only ones that sold unleaded gas.
That's amazing. Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I don't think I'm old enough to remember any leaded fuel that I can remember. I remember seeing the signs all the time, but I'll be honest with you, for the life of me, I couldn't tell you if I remember it or not.
Well, they probably stopped with the leaded gasoline for the sole reason that we all got retarded enough, breathing in the fumes.
Boy, ain't that the truth. And I still own a 70s vehicle that, I couldn't imagine sitting in traffic with everybody else carbureted as well, because I notice when people get behind me, they don't get real close.
Well, it's funny because one of the things that is so funny, when you be coming up upon a vehicle in front of you, the old when there was no PCV valve, there was nothing. And so when you came up behind somebody, you were looking underneath their car because most of those cars were a little higher off of the ground, the older cars. And you'd see that vent from the crankcase vent that went down because the vent pipe went right down to the bottom of the oil pan or so. It was down at that level. And so you could see smoke coming out of that vent pipe.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Luckily, mine has a PCV valve on the valve cover. I don't know if it really does it, and I can hear it in there clicking away. But honestly, I don't think it's doing much of anything. It's a carbureted vehicle, so it's without a catalytic converter, it's not doing much.
No, I just it's funny to me how we've changed so much, and then they added alcohol and made it worse. I think.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Oh, and I tried checking in to the net on DMR again, and nobody heard me tonight. And I ordered a amp that was supposed to have been here yesterday and didn't come. Well, apparently Doug and Greenbrier KO4 MKD had a 100-watt VHF amp, and I told him, I said, I may come after it anyway because of I didn't know how this was going to pan out. Well, I sent him a message earlier, and if it doesn't come by Monday, I may just go with that 100-watt instead.
Cool. Man, where'd he get his hands on a 100-watt for DMR, huh?
Well, it's a VHF only, and I would say that it would work on it because most of the ones I've read up on, as long as it's a VHF, I don't know if it's DMR. That's a good question. I don't think all of them will do it, will they?
I don't know. I have one that will not do it. I tried to use it. It will not pass it.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, I may need to look farther into that. At least I could do is just try it out, and if it works, I'll just pay him for it.
Yeah, well, I did. I was a little disappointed. But anyway, anything else for the net there, Joel?
No, that's it tonight. You have a good now. KO4 OTV. Back to net control.
Yeah, very good. That's Joel in west Ashland City, in the jungle. KO4 OTV. Anybody else north or west?
KG4 ILV, Jack and Donaldson.
Hold on. There was somebody in there with you, Jack, but I'll take you first. I don't know who the other person was at the moment. Everything going well?
Oh, yeah, everything's fine.
What today? Were you working on the garden today?
I was out there a little while. It got pretty cold, so I came in and started reading, looking through my garden magazines and reading on my books.
Yeah, this weather, you need to burn them garden magazines, keep everything warm.
It wouldn't be a bad idea. I'll let you go. I'll let the next one check in. Thanks for doing what you do, Paul. KG4 ILV.
Very good. That was Jack and Donaldson, Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Who else is west?
Kilo Golf 4, Charlie Victor Echo.
Yeah, you let Jack step on you there, Greg.
Well, I'm not surprised because I am currently speaking to you via balloon bounce. I'm bouncing my signal off for a balloon. I hope y'all can copy me okay. Over.
Yeah, it must be metallic, a covered balloon, huh?
Yes, sir. Well, you're sounding good, though, even with the balloon.
Yeah, very good. Nothing else for the net?
That's it. See you on the next one. KD4 TV.
Very good. That's Greg, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Who else is west?
KC4T and Q.
Hey, Mr. Charles, you sound good. Everything. Did you ever figure out if you heard Michael or not on DMR?
Well, I heard him, and I was on my DMR radio, so I mean, I don't remember seeing his call sign come up on the screen, but I remember his voice.
Well, I'm saying on your radio, is the other side of your radio up, or like an FM side?
No, I only got it on one side.
Oh, okay, well, very good. Then you must have heard him on the DMR side.
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah, I'm pretty positive I heard him. Now, whether it decoded FM, I have no idea. I wouldn't think it would have, but anyway. So that mobile station you heard earlier that was coming into town, he was 60 over to me, so his radio's working.
Yeah, he must be on that other side of Nashville. He might have been north. I don't know where he was coming from.
I say he was probably coming in on I-40 West or coming in eastbound. So because he must have been right outside my door here because he was taking my meter.
Oh, I got it. He probably was because he's originally from Memphis.
Yeah, Roger. So and also to go on to continue your conversation about the PVC valves and stuff. So a couple of years ago, I was driving a tour bus, and it smoked pretty bad. It had a pretty good amount of blow by. Of course, most diesels, they don't have any way of recycling the fumes. So it's like you said, they had that pipe that run out the bottom, and one of the clients, said something about it, and I said, yeah, I call it Puff the Magic Dragon.
Well, yeah, my diesel story was I was going through this I was in a car that had no air conditioning. There was a cab in Venezuela, and the road to get from Port City into Caracas, you have to go through an extraordinarily long tunnel through the mountain. And I noticed as we were coming through the entryway that I don't know if you've ever been in a big tunnel, but they have these big exhaust fans. You can see them, you can see the blades, right on the face of the entry to the tunnel above the roadway. And they weren't working. And I know how bad it wasn't working because it's part of the tunnel is going uphill. And we had diesel trucks in there laboring in the tunnel. And we're going through next to these trucks with the diesels running full blast. It was disgusting. I thought I was going to die.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I've seen photographs of, I think, the tunnel where it's got huge fans, for, circulating the air, on each end of it.
Yeah, they do. I'm not sure how they might have another vent from the outside midway or something. I don't really understand that. But I do know that the fans that day, and well, if you've ever been to a place like Venezuela, 80% of their crap doesn't work anyway. They don't have the money or the time or the inclination to fix things or maintain them for that matter.
Yeah, I guess it's like a lot of the YouTube videos that you see of these over in India where they repair all their equipment. They just, man, they do the basic stuff, but they get it going.
Yeah, they get it going. The 3 people die in the process.
Well, we won't comment about that. But anyway, y'all have a good evening. Good talking to you. Thanks for having the net. Stay equal to you.
Yeah, very good. That's Charles. He's in West Nashville, Kilo Golf 4 Tango, November, Quebec. Who else is west? Anybody else west or anywhere? West or nowhere?
W8PLA with a recheck and an announcement.
All right, a recheck and an announcement. Boy, it's a double day.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I was hoping Ricky up in Portland would have checked in tonight, but he's put a post out on his Facebook page saying that starting February the 23rd, this coming Thursday, the Middle Tennessee Simplex Net, hosted by him up in Portland on 147.555, will be moved from 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. And also, I was going to go direct with Hayes there and tell him that on 146.880, make sure you've got a tone squelch of 114.8 for transmit and receive on your memory channel. That's all I got. W8PLA, back in net control.
Ah, very good. Yeah, the Sumner County. Yeah, this is the Sumner County net, right? I mean, that's what he's calling it.
He called it the Middle Tennessee Simplex Net on 147.555.
Oh, he wishes it was all in Middle Tennessee.
Yeah, roger that.
Oh, really? He's doing a fine job. Yeah, for those you want to know, as of the 23rd of February, that Sumner County net will be moving to, instead of being 8, it's going to go to 7. That's on 147.555 Simplex. As of 23rd February, the 23rd of February, excuse me. So that's only 5 days away. Very good. I'm glad you put that because I got to change it on our reminder system as well. Thank you, Philip. Anybody else west or anywhere? We're checking balloons as they fly over to K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex radio. Lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers.
There we go.
That brought you right out of the woodwork, huh? Scott?
Hold on 1 second. I got to set the YouTube down. Can't do both. Can't listen and talk at the same time to the net. Okay, say again.
I said that brought you out of the woodwork, the lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers.
Yeah, that's it right there. You know, you're talking about the oil changes. My pickup truck, I don't drive hardly at all anymore. And I got in it one day just to crank it up and looked up there at the oil sticker. And I said, well, that's a year old. And I pulled out the last receipt, checked the mileage, and I only went like 715 miles that year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I have that problem with the primary car my wife drives to work every day, but the other car, I might run it every 2 weeks to go to the breakfast. That's the only time I drive. And so I have a hard time keeping the battery charged.
Oh, that's it. If I don't get out there once every week to 10 days, I will be jumping it off. Okay, that was all I had for my oil change story. Oh, the unleaded gasoline. Do you remember the little adapters that you could get to fit into the gas tank?
No, I don't. Why was there a difference in the gas tank sizes?
Yeah, the nozzle for regular gas was larger than the unleaded gas, so the nozzle would not fit into the receptacle for the gas line.
Oh, I didn't remember that. Because the only 2 cars I had, well, I got to think about that for a second. The first 2 cars I had were built in 1960, and the third car I had was built in '66. So I don't think nobody cared about those issues then.
No, I went from a gasoline leaded vehicle to a Volkswagen Rabbit, and it was unleaded gas. And I bellyached about that because it was more expensive than the leaded gas. And my mechanic said, well, get you one of these little things. He said, it'll eventually clog up your catalytic converter, but you won't have the car by then.
Yeah, I don't think I want to clog up the catalytic converter. That's more expensive than the gas.
We've had a major issue with the catalytic converters there at the warehouse. About every gasoline truck that's on site has been hit, and the converters cut off. So I forwarded that Wienermobile to my group text for that, and got a kick out of that.
Oh yeah, I thought that was. I'm telling you, it must be worth it. Well, you heard about the other guy. I don't remember where it was. A woman was sleeping in her car. Did you see that one? She was sleeping in her car, like in the front seat, like maybe just leaning back. I don't know. A guy was under the car, sawing off with a sawzall apparently, or some kind of a saw. Didn't say. And she woke up, heard the noise, and just started the car up and drove over him and killed him.
Yeah, I saw that. That's such a shame. Tragedy.
Well, it's a tragedy that people feel compelled to be stealing stuff off the bottom of cars.
You know, if we would, let's keep the mic down and talk. If they would crack down on these idiots that are buying them, and just because, if I recall, you're not allowed to sell a used catalytic converter. So yours goes out on the car. You can't put a used one on there.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And I'm presuming, I may be wrong about this because I've never had to mess with it, but just like a muffler is designed for the engine, what the volume of exhaust is, I'm guessing the catalytic converter is too. So I'm not sure they're being real careful about where they sell or use those reused catalytic converters.
Well, they crack down on these idiots that are buying them, giving these people money so they can buy them, extract the minerals out of them. Might be able to stop that problem, or just quit using them at all. All right, I'm done. K1S.
Hey, my last question on that. So they are using them sometimes to extract the materials, the element, the minerals out of them?
Not off the top of my head, but no, it's a very valuable one, I believe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember hearing about it. I don't know. I don't know any. The only thing I know is they require them on cars, and I know what they kind of do, but they just make the cars cost more money. Anyway, that was Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Anybody else out there with lollygagger lurkers, even scanner listeners can check in. They can check into these YouTube videos.
Platinum, rhodium, and palladium.
Uh-huh. The 3 wise kings. Was there someone else in there?
Comment.
Hey, go ahead, Michael.
We lost 8 off of our diesel trucks at work. We finally had to put up a camera system outside, and then we started pulling the trucks inside the warehouse.
Fortunately, most of our diesels that are floating around our warehouse are Isuzus or Hino cabovers, and mine's an Isuzu cabover, and that catalytic converter, man, you've got to cut through the frame to get to it.
Yeah, ours are a Suzu as well.
They tell me that those thefts in some areas are up 600% over what they were last year. Apparently, crack prices went up. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's got to be, I guess you could put you could weld on a kind of a cover over it, like a half circle cover over the whole thing, but that would be pretty pricey. Anyway, anything else for the net, Scott or Michael?
Nope, carry on.
My wife asked me if he says, do we have to worry about them taking them off our cars? I go, I don't think they need any 22-year-old catalytic converters. Anybody else? Lollygaggers, lurkers, sandbaggers, scanner listeners, flat earthers, SDR donglers, etc.
K,
I heard K something.
K4AL.
Hello, Alan. What's up?
Not much. Just in the shack trying to figure out some software. Turn the radio on. There you are. Give you one more check in.
Oh, yeah, very good. You had a big signal today.
Is Frank checked in today, RKK?
I have not heard, Frank.
Okay. All righty. Let me see if I can figure this out. K4AL.
Very good. That's Alan, Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. He is down there in Alexandria general area, and he's got a remote system that's operating out of Hermitage, I think. It's Hermitage, right, Alan?
Yeah, it's kind of in the Hermitage area, something like that. And it's still in Wilson County, but just barely.
Okay, I got you. Very good. It's a little confusing to me, that's for sure. Yeah, it's in Mount Juliet / maybe Hermitage. I'll call it an undisclosed location. Who else? Anybody else? Any place anywhere? Very good. We had a monstrous 23 people check in. Appreciate everybody who checked in. A little lower than normal, but that's what we get. We're moving over to 2 meters upper sideband 144.240. 144.240, and I'll be there unless somebody wants to check in. Too late. You're slow. Too slow. I'm moving over to 144.240. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey Launch Juliet Simplex Radio Net, taking check-ins from the south. Please come now.
Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta.
Very good. We got you in there, Scott. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Who else is south? Please come now. Or east. Yeah, you sound very good there, Stan. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is east? East or north? East or south, east or north? Or west?
KM4 YRS.
Okay, guys. You're not hearing any other stations, are you, Michael?
No.
All righty. Anybody else? West?
KG4 LV.
Best signal on the band tonight there, Jack.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor and Donaldson. That's Jack. Who else is west or anywhere?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Almost the best signal on the band there, Greg.
Yeah, I wasn't facing you, but yeah, this band sounds good to me tonight. I don't hear anybody else saying. Too bad there's not a lot of people in, but it sounds quiet. Propagation good.
It can be very good on the two upper sideband. I almost would think that it would be a better frequency or better mode than FM for its ability to get out if somebody was doing emergency communication. But I never heard anybody say that besides me.
That makes sense. One of the things I liked about sideband is you can turn the squelch basically off and not get that hash, that real loud, the white noise.
Oh, right. It's the obnoxious. It's not as obnoxious as on FM.
Yeah, where it's a lot smoother and palatable on sideband. So anyway, that's one of the things I liked about it.
Very good. I guess we'll move our 220 net over to sideband. What do you think?
Yeah, there we go. That should get a good turnout. Maybe throw some DMR sideband.
I don't think so. I think we're doing fine with what we got. That was Greg in the Antioch, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else out there, please come down.
Whiskey Kilo 4 Alpha Lima and Inferno. Sideband. I love it.
Yeah, very good. I got two people in there. I got Alan from the kind of Wilson County, undisclosed location. That's Kilo 4 Alpha Lima. Yeah, Kilo 4 Alpha. And it was a great signal, of course. And then Whiskey Victor 4D and Ken in Smyrna. You sound good there, Ken. Yeah, it's yeah. I told you we did 70 centimeters this past. Were you checking in that last when we did 70 centimeters last week?
No, I don't have 70.
You don't have 70 on your radio?
I do, but I don't have it hooked up. Well, I do have it hooked up to this antenna, don't I?
Yes, you do. Unless you found a way to not hook it up.
No, yeah, that's right. It's got 70 sitting on top of it too. Yeah, I'll have to check in and try that out.
Okay, very good. That was Whiskey Victor 4 Delta in Smyrna. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere?
KF4 KFQ.
Ah, you sound good there. That was Tony, KF4 KFQ in Smyrna. You heard Ken all right, I'm sure.
Yeah, if he's got his window open, I get a real clear signal.
Yeah, you can probably just hear his audio, his real audio.
Yep. Well, unless he's got that laser cutter running.
Yeah, well, at least laser doesn't interfere with the signal, does it?
I think it does.
Oh, does it really?
It does. I can have it on, and I have to get at least 7, 8, 10 feet away from it.
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that. So obviously it uses some kind of a high frequency something to go through that laser, huh?
It does, and then it's boosted. But whatever. Audio sounds a little better now. I turned it where it wouldn't be so hot.
Yeah, it sounds good.
All right, Mr. Tony, take it.
Well, what am I supposed to do with it?
Yeah, take it away, Tony. Tony, okay, so I'm going to give Tony the hook. This is K4PW. Anybody else on 144.240? Last chance, 144.240 before we move over to 6 meters.
KC14Q.
KC, what you had to have a final warning there, did you, Charles?
Well, the golden rule is listen before you keep.
Oh, absolutely. And that control, I don't always remember to do that myself because I'll start keying up and not realizing the guy started talking again.
Oh, it's all good, Paul. Anyway, thanks for being there. KC14Q.
Yeah, very good. That's Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango, November, Quebec. That makes 10 in there. Anybody else before we jump out? All right, we're going to 6 meters for those that got it. Smoke them if you got them. And I don't mean smoke the finals either. 6 meters, 50.135, K4PW, QS Wine. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey, Mount Juliet Simplex Radio Net on 6 meters, 50.135. Looking for check-ins from the south. Please come now. Oh, I hear somebody out there, but it's way down in the noise. Who is that? Anybody copying that station? From the south again? Might be someplace else that I'm hearing. From the east, please come now. From the east, please come now. Wow, I'm not hearing anybody. How about from the north? Wow, conditions are crappy tonight. Or how are you copying me there, Charles? Very good. I'm getting you about 2 and 2 is what it is, or 2 and 1, but I can hear you. I can make out what you're saying. Very good. That's Charles in West Tampa. West Tampa. I'm living in Tampa again. West of Nashville. Anybody else out there west or anywhere? All right, I got a couple in there. I got Kilo Oscar 4 Oscar Tango Victor Joel up there in the northwest sector, and I also heard Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. How are you hearing people tonight? There. Well, I'll ask Joel first. Joe, how are you hearing people tonight? All right, very good. Well, I'm assuming you heard me. All right, we got that. That was probably Charles you heard. Unless you heard, Greg, check in again, please. Okay, very good. Yeah, because it's really a rough copy tonight. I'll tell you, there's a lot of there's not very good propagation. It's not that there's too much noise; it's just that the signals aren't getting anywhere. Anyway, that's Greg Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else? Any place? Anywhere? I'm hearing a station in there, but I can't make out who it is. Wow, I can hear the voice, but I can't make out the letters. One more time on it. Ah, very good. That's Kilo. Yeah, it's terrible. Here's Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta, and he's in Laverne, and I can barely hear him. Greg, are you copying Scott? Because he's only a couple of miles from you. Yeah, it is crazy. Scott, appreciate you checking in and bearing with me on that. It is tough copy. Anybody else out there, please come now. You got the volume turned up pretty high. I'm not copying it. Anybody copying anybody? All right, that's all I got for tonight. Except we're going over to 223-415. Anybody, any place right now? Please come now. Anybody copying anything I can't hear? All righty. Well, I'm gonna jump over to 223-415. We'll see you there if you can. Catch you later. Thanks for everybody checking in. K4P. This is K4PW with the Mom Juliet Simplex Radio on wherever we are, 223-415. Please come in. There we good. We got Tony in there. KF4, KFQ. Who else is in there? Okay, so okay, I got 2 in there. Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo, which would be Greg in Antioch, and KC4 TNQ, and that'd be Charles in West Nashville. Is anybody else out there? Hey, we got 2 in there. I got Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor Jack and Donaldson. Also, I got Alan in well, wherever it is, undisclosed location, Wilson County. And nice to have you in there, Alan. I don't think you checked in before on this, did you?
It's probably been a while. The transverter was down. Finally got it back up and running. Heard y'all on 6, but I had a little bit of a shack boo-boo here, so couldn't check in.
Very good. It was Alan, and like I said, his shack is over there in the kind of the northwest Wilson area. Is everybody copying everybody else's station tonight? Let me put it backwards. Is anybody not hearing any of the stations tonight besides Tony? You were having trouble hearing Alan there, Jack. Was that you, Jack? Jack, you're not great. Were you hearing Jack?
I was not hearing Alan. Jack, did you try 6 meters to steer you? No, I didn't try 6 meters. Okay, you're horrible. I was just curious.
Yeah, it was 6 meters was for the hearing impaired tonight. It's horrible. And your signal's pretty low tonight there, Jack. Yeah, very strange, because you'd think the weather was clear and dry, and that would be helpful. Yeah, I agree. It seems odd to me because it's pretty stable conditions out there. I got you. Is there anybody else out there? Please come now.
I hear everybody.
Then you need to be at net control. Yeah, very good. Yeah, well, you're in a good location there for this, and I guess you're copying everybody good. I can hear everybody, but it's just really lousy conditions.
Yeah, we've got some solar flares going on. I think that might be affecting.
Yep. I don't know what the dealio is. It has to be something big like that. I don't think it'd be just temperature inversions or a low or high humidity or it's none of that. No, I don't know. I wouldn't know anyway. Anybody else out there, please come now.
What are you running? 100 watts? I'm running 20 watts. I've got an old, let's see what this is. I've got so many radios. Old ones, I can't remember. It's a TM321 Kenwood. Yeah, very good. Yeah, it sounds good. I can tell it wasn't the 1 watt. Yeah, I've got the 1 water sitting there too. It's not on. Yeah, that's about as strong as I think I've heard you. So yeah, sounds good. And so far, mine is full scale.
Who was that last station in there? Oh yeah, very good. Any other stations going to check in? Please come now. Tony, are you able to hear Eddie in Gladeville?
Nope, I've not heard anybody.
Yeah, he hasn't heard a soul.
Wow. He's full scale to me.
He's full scale. Eddie just said you, Tony, are full scale to Eddie in Gladeville. You sure you got your speaker and everything connected right?
Well, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, well, apparently it's got a filter that only passes my signals, because I can't believe that Eddie can hear you perfectly, but you can't hear him because he's bigger signal than me.
I've heard that.
Really? I mean, it's wild. That is so messed up. You are in an RF hole, man.
What do you expect? I'm married.
Yeah, I know. It's awful. Anyway, anybody else want to check in or got a comment before we jump out of here?
antennas. I bet I can. Tony can hear me good.
Was there somebody else in there just now? K4PEW. No, I thought I heard somebody else in it. Nobody's copying anybody else?
Not here.
Well, very good. I'll close out the net then. This is K4PEW. Appreciate it. We had a grand total of 6 in here tonight, which isn't too shabby. It's pretty good for a brand new net, just a couple of months old. I wish I could say that it was, well, it is growing a little bit, but because there's some people missing tonight. Anyway, have a great night. Great night. Appreciate everybody checking in. K4PEW.
K4EBX, K4L.
K4, KFQ, I heard you that time.
Hey, Alan. And Tony, I heard you too.
K4PEW, K4, KFQ. Got a station over here asking that you.
I can't hear the other guy. I'm horizontal and very directional antenna. I don't know which way to point it for the other fellow. I got 2 stupid questions. Number 1, how much oil did the locomotive engines hold? And did y'all ever change that oil, or did you just change the filters, or what y'all do? Oh, well, the most of them were 16 cylinders, some of the small 6s, 8-cylinder switch engines. But most of them held between 200 and 300 gallons of oil. Oh, wow. And would you change that oil? Well, on every time they would come in, like on the 90-day inspection, you take an oil sample, and I take the oil sample in there, and you do a viscosity check on it. Okay, and then if it met specs, then you would just leave it in there, right? Because it just seems like you go bankrupt changing it.
Oh, vacated. He's not in over 415.
Yeah, it's and first thing you do, you put it up between these 2 copper wires, and you push a button, and it'll test to see if there's water in it. You know, if there's water in the oil, it'll flash. Oh wow! So y'all didn't even have to send it off; you could test it in house. Oh yeah, if we had to test it there, we would run a viscosity test on it, and if it got over a certain level, you'd have to change it.
Hey, Tony, who are you copying now for those stations that were just on?
There's an SPD station over here on 223. He asked that you hold on for about 3 minutes before you vacate it.
Okay, very good. I'll be here. Who are you copying besides this SPD and there's in Laverne?
Double.
Alan, you want to go to another frequency? We can talk on that. Then.
Did you copy SPD first thing?
Hold on, Tony. Yeah, I was copying Laverne. SPD, go ahead. Very good. I got you in there. Which radio? How much power are you running now, Scott? Okay, very good. No, I'm copying. It's a little scratchy, but I am copying. Yeah, appreciate you checking in there, Scott. Tony, who are you? So you copied Scott, you copied me. Who else did you copy up here in the northern sector?
You're a funny guy.
You didn't copy anybody else? I thought you heard Eddie up in here in what do you call it, Gladeville?
No, not today. All I heard
Okay, yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it. That's what I'm saying. We need more players. And I'm closing the net. K4 PEW.